Hey, this is Charlie Jansing here at Alcoa Goodtimes, talking about batteries and battery tenders. A lot of customers struggle with their batteries not lasting very long. If you constantly ride your motorcycle or constantly ride your personal watercraft, you constantly drive your car, the battery stays charged just from the mere fact that you're driving it all the time, and the alternator charges it up. Batteries love to be discharged, like when you start your car or motorcycle, and then charged back up when you're driving it. But lots of times, especially with personal watercraft customer, they're not using it during the winter, and to preserve it for the next season, you need to be using a battery tender. A battery tender is just a smart charger. There's a bunch of different brands you can use, but you would take the battery out, you put it on a block of wood, put it in your garage, hook it up to a battery tender, plug it into the wall, and it's going to let that battery float between 13 volts and about 11.5 volts. It's going to simulate use. That's what batteries like. There also, as you may want to keep an eye at what's the water level or the fluid level inside the battery. You want to make sure it's between the high and the low mark. Some of the newer batteries are maintenance free, they're sealed, you don't have to worry about the water level. Main thing though is to keep it on a smart charger that allows the battery to cycle. A battery can go down to 0 volts, basically have no charge on it. You can charge it back up and it may be okay. It depends on how much the battery has sulfated, and that's a determination of the health. UASA makes a really nice tester that not only tests the voltage or how much you've charged the voltage to, but also its health. What's its capacity to start? So once a battery has been sulfated, its health goes down. And no matter how much you charge it, you cannot get its health up. So even though you can charge it back up to 12.5 volts and it's holding that voltage, as soon as you try to start a motorcycle, a car, personal watercraft, it doesn't have enough energy to start because its health may be at 10 or 15%. So anyway, please take care of your batteries. New batteries are $100 to $200. A battery charger tender, they're anywhere from $35 to $45. They'll work as long as the battery is above about 5 or 6 volts. If the battery voltage does drop to 0, you're going to need to charge it up with a full-on charger. But if this senses too low voltage, it will not work. This is our battery hospital. What happens here is we've had a lot of customers that have not used a battery tender to keep their batteries fresh when they're not in use. This is an automatic trickle charger. It basically raises the battery voltage to a little over 13 volts and lets it drop down to around 12 and then charges it back up. It basically simulates use. These are around $40. They'll greatly increase the life of your battery. If you let your battery set without use for more than a month or so, it's going to sulfate on the lead plates. It's going to ruin the battery. It'll be in our hospital. We may or may not be able to save it. This is the doctor. This is an Optimate Pro battery charger. We're trying to hit some of these batteries with a lot of voltage, a lot of current to try to get them unsulfated to save them. But it's real important to use a battery tender. It's real important that the fluid levels be between the lower and the upper level. You don't want to be too high. You don't want to be too low. When you do replace fluids in a filled battery like this, you're just going to use distilled water. When you have a sealed battery like this, you don't really have to worry about the battery levels. It's filled initially, and all I have to do is keep it on a charge or smart charger. You can't continuously charge it. The charger must be smart enough to know when to shut off. If not, it'll overcook the battery. It could boil this battery over. Thanks.